I've just seen the game between Manchester United and Hull, or Hull City were the home side. And for most of that game, there was really nothing to show for Manchester United. It looked like a team that were not prepared for this season. It's 2026, and Harry Maguire is still Manchester United's best defender, whilst also being Manchester United's best striker. I know that sounds quite funny, but it is what it is. I've just seen the game between Manchester United and Hull, or Hull City were the home side. And for most of that game, there was really nothing to show for Manchester United. It looked like a team that were not prepared for this season. And I know it's still very early to say because we've still got 37 games in the Premier League to go. But if Manchester United's season was to be judged by this game alone, then I wouldn't expect anything from them for the rest of the season. I saw that game from a tactical perspective. It looked like Michael Carrick was completely clueless. I mean, I know it's good to have players like Tielemans and Santos in midfield. Those are really good players, at least as far as football is concerned. But at the same time, they look like really similar players. And for most of that games, it looks like they were fighting for the same spaces. They were trying to get into the same positions, which caused a bit of confusion in that midfield. Add that to the fact that he played without a point man. Cunha was leading them in attack. And because Cunha is not a natural target man or natural striker, as you would want your striker to be, it meant that he had to drop deep a lot of time, which also took space away from Bruno Fernandes. So you had two situations where Tielemans and Santos were fighting for the same space in midfield, and then Cunha and Fernandes were also sort of fighting for the same space, also in midfield. So apart from that, we also had the Dogu situation, which for me should have been a no-brainer because why are you playing Dogu as an attacking winger? The guy is a wing back for crying out loud. For crying out loud, rather. Why are you playing him as an attacking winger? He's so limited in the way that you would expect a winger to play. He doesn't do much in terms of putting enough balls into the box, even if you're expecting crosses from him. And when he just gets into dangerous positions, you just get the feeling that he is struggling to make the right decisions in situations like that. If you put all of these three factors together, it's not hard to imagine why United lost to a newly promoted Hull City this afternoon. But like I said earlier, there's still 37 games to go. Still a long way in the season. This is not the first time that a team is going to lose a game, lose their first game rather, and still go on to have a really good season. So add that to the fact that there's still a number of days left in the transfer window. Personally, I think Manchester United lack a ball carrier in midfield. So there's really not much of a transition from midfield to attack. We're hearing that they've signed Baleba, even though it's not official yet. But Baleba might come in, even though he lacks a bit of experience as well. But Baleba might come in to solve that problem to an extent. But just having two players that like to control the tempo of the game, two players that like to dictate tempo in Tielemans and Santos is not really helping them because who gets the ball to Bruno? Bruno is the kind of player that likes to provide that bit of magic, the final magic that you need in a game. That's the final pass. He's not a tempo controller, for example. He's not a ball carrier either. So you still need someone to connect Bruno to the midfield, who will then connect it to the attack. In that sense, I think Baleba might help, especially in the Premier League where you need a lot of physicality, someone to just hustle the ball and move it from one point to another. I also think they might be lacking a left winger. Rashford might be able to do well there. But again, with Rashford, you're never quite sure where his head is. So he might start the season well and then 15 games into the season, you're getting a different kind of Rashford. So I'm not sure they should depend on Rashford. If I was United after getting Baleba, I will still look into the market for a right winger, possibly a striker as well, because from all indication, it doesn't look like Michael Carrick trusts Benjamin Sesko. And if that's the case, there's really no point continuing with Cunha as a striker. In Belmo as well, is not really a striker for me. I would rather play him out wide, possibly on the right wing, and get a proper nine. They've been linked with Osimhen. I'm not sure why they're reluctant to complete that deal. But a striker like Osimhen elevates their game two more levels, elevate their game a bit higher. Get a right winger, get a ball carrier, and your season might just be different. But from where I stand, it's not looking good for Manchester United. But again, I hope for their fans' sake that they get it right. I'll catch you again on the next one. Ciao, ciao.